You are listening to the Crazybrave Songwriter podcast. This is a podcast about the magic of making music, one song at a time. My name is Lisa M. Arreguin. I'm happy to be your host for today. I'm so happy to bring to you the dynamic songwriting duo of Bora. In this episode, they share their stories on success and their experiences in the songwriting process. As a brother and sister songwriting team, they have a long history of writing songs together in both English and Spanish. Their songwriting versatility and tenacity has garnished success with multiple placements on movies and television. The two songs we'll be listening to today are Fantasma and Vagabond. So lean back and enjoy the deep conversation of a family writing team that works hard, believes in the power of music, and is deeply committed to the songwriting process.
Check 1 2, check 1 2. Testing, testing.
The moment we started really getting serious was when my dad became a pastor, and we were filling a lot of shoes, filling a lot of need. And I think we got a little, not say bored, but let's say motivated to be a little more artistic with the music we were doing every week, week after week, service after service. And so we started putting in our own blend to that music, and then eventually led to writing our own lyrics, from creating our own arrangements, let's say, of just common, Sunday morning music.
That's exactly what I was going to say. The doing our own twist to well-known songs was the prelude to us actually starting to write our own music. I think one of the funnier stories related to music, and it set Jesse on the course that you are in now. We call it the Native American drums. Boom, boom, boom.
Oh, yeah.
Boom, boom, boom.
A little bit on that story. A friend of ours was getting married and asked us to perform at her wedding. And I don't sing. I'm not a singer. I mean, everyone sings. I just don't sing well. But I have a good enough ear to know that I don't sing well. So, usually my contribution is usually in the music, right? So anyway, my sister was going to sing, play guitar. We decided to bring in some percussion. So it was just the floor tom. When we rehearsed it, and it sounded great. And then what was the song?
Ingrid Michaelson. And I love
that song.
The way you call me baby, or something like that.
So decided to just kind of do some rim shots and hit the floor tom to boom, add percussions.
Boom, boom,
my sister played guitar and sang. And it sounded amazing when we rehearsed it.
Yeah.
We had the room we were rehearsed it in had great reverb.
Yeah.
When we performed it at the ceremony.
In this high ceiling,
completely different.
Older chapel. Yeah. The acoustics were so different from when we were rehearsing.
It sounded like a Native American drum circle or something. and I heard it as soon as it started playing, but at that point it was just too late to pivot and do something different.
What can you do? Stop playing? No, because we were like literally in the middle of the ceremony.
But the funny part is there was a beautiful gal in the back, like, what the heck is going on here? And she is now my wife.
Fantasma started off as a way of retelling a story. Filling in the blanks is what I would say. And so it's actually based off of a biblical story. And there's a scene where the disciples are in the boat and there's a storm, and then, they're freaking out. Then they see this image coming through the water. They think it's a ghost. Peter is walking on the water, but before he sees Jesus, again, there's a storm. The disciples are in the boat. They already lived a life with Jesus, so they were very well aware of the things that could happen while being followers of Jesus. But they found themselves in a storm. They see him walking on the waters and they're scared, but then when they realize it's him, Peter gets out of the boat and actually walks on the water firmly towards Jesus. But then the Bible story says that he became discouraged because he saw the waves.
It's a test of your faith, and it's a challenge to step out in faith, step out into the unknown, right? And even if after it was proven to Peter and the disciples of the miracles that Jesus has performed, when you're walking in the middle of a storm, it's easy to lose foot and start drowning.
There's so many areas of my life where I'm thinking, you should know this. I always tell myself, you are a grown woman. You should know this. Like, this should not be that hard for you. But I find myself kind of like I'm missing the basics sometimes.
My sister takes care of most of the lyrics, and I review and comment, and vice versa with the music part.
Take an axe to it.
Correct, but
Light it on fire.
I have heard songs that connect with the thing I wanted, that I was feeling, more than speech. I can relate that
sound,
to a sound, if it's a chord progression or if it's a melody, right? Or even the way they're singing it.
We have this ongoing dialogue with other writers. They don't know that because we'll hear their song. It speaks to us. They said something to us, and then we're responding back out with something else.
But I think as far as lately, organically, we've are working on one song and come with these different lyric ideas or different melody ideas where I'm like, this is great, but this is a completely different song. And we start out of one song split into like 4 other songs sometimes. As far as the approach to who brings the rhythm, the lyrics, the melody, harmonies, it's Karina handles most of the lyrics.
Mm-hmm.
And and I'll give my review on that or my 2 cents, and then I usually will take care of more of the arrangement, the music part, then deciding instrumentation, deciding what rhythm it should have. And a lot of time it's very experimental. So outside of getting together once a week to music write, I'll work on things throughout the week to later present to Karina.
When I first started writing, and other songwriters might relate to this, I was very protective of my babies. The songs were my babies. And how dare you call it ugly? How dare you call it lopsided? How dare you say it's too hefty or too thin or not enough? I would always get my guitar and use it as a way to put my kids to sleep. Years ago, I would hear about certain songwriters that, quote unquote, wrote a new song every day. And I'm thinking, how could they? That's impossible. But I'm seeing that it's very possible when you just get in this flow and just give yourself this permission to write. I think that we've hit a little closer to that. We're not doing a song a day, not even a song a week.
Right.
But we're closer to just being free to write. I had been working with at-risk youth, and if anyone's ever worked with any at-risk populations, domestic violence victims, child abuse, teenagers, homeless, things like that, there's this balance of wanting to be helpful and then wanting to do everything for them. People who need to be able to have that drive within them to change their own situations. And I remember I was working with a particular young person and who was really struggling and kind of like on the wagon, off the wagon, on the wagon. And I didn't want to be someone that was an annoyance to him. I really wanted him to see me as, I'm here if you need my help. I said, when you disappear on me, do I have your permission to go hunt you down? And he said, yeah. So I don't know why I'm getting emotional. Just think about it. But I remember asking him, do I have your permission to find you? Because I was really concerned for him. And he gave me that permission. And I had that in my head. And I don't know what drew me to ask him that question, can I find you? Can I search for you? And he said, yeah.
Now for your listening pleasure, the song Vagabond, played in its entirety.
Search for me, hunt for me, seek me out in the alleys where I hide. Would you recognize me, adorned in fear and pain? Tangible as rain was my mistake, and my guilt the evidence. It's taken so long to find some grace, I'm doubting the way, and desperately I search for love on the other side of the moon. Desperately I take your hand, I'm the vagabond of the Suddenly you're offering a glimpse of joy. You bring me back to my home. A glimmer of life spent with you is calling me home. Desperately I search for love on the other side of the moon. Desperately take your hand, I'm the vagabond of the moon. I'm trying to find my way. Each time I run away, my heart is changing. Desperately I search for love on the other side of the moon. Desperately I take your hand, I'm the vagabond of the moon. I'm the vagabond of the
This is Lisa again, and I want to take this moment to applaud the team at loveandlaughtermusicgroup.com, a safe and knowledgeable spot for musicians who wish to learn more about writing songs and recording great music. This episode is a product of livingcrazybrave.com, another hub where musicians can cultivate new awareness about what it takes to honor the sacred art of making honest music. Let me leave you with this. Work hard at your music and don't let up, despite the distractions and pockets of time that slow you down. As Leonard Cohen says, it takes a great deal of time to find out what a song is. In other words, be steady, slow down, take your time, and stay committed to the practice.